Hi, and welcome to Watchmen on the Pod. Today we're going to continue our reading in Heroes of the Bible, a devotional by Joshua Cooley. It's 90 days, and we're just plugging away day by day. Welcome to day 29. But first, let's go back to day 28. Battle plan. Make a list of everything good you've ever done. It could be as long as you want. Don't read any further until you do this. ... You should have already done it. Finished? Good. Now, crumple it up the piece of paper and throw it away as a reminder that doing good things can't save you. Only Jesus can. Okay, day 29. A true hero for God. ... Answers God's call on his life. What an important true hero for God message. A hero's tale. Have you ever heard voices in the night? Scary. Okay, maybe you won't admit to being scared of the dark, but plenty of kids are, and some adults too. Either way, it's certainly no fun to hear strange noises in bed. Well, that's exactly what happened to little Samuel. One night, when Samuel was a young boy serving in the tabernacle, he heard a mysterious voice say his name. What would you have done? Hidden under the covers? Run screaming out of the room? Slowly reach for your lightsaber? Samuel didn't do any of those. Lightsabers, of course, hadn't been invented yet. He jumped out of bed and ran to Eli, the high priest, thinking Eli had called him. But Eli hadn't said a word. This happened 2 more times. Finally, Eli realized it was the Lord's voice calling Samuel. He told Samuel to lie down and gave him instructions in case he heard the voice again. A few moments later, the voice returned. Samuel, Samuel, it called. Samuel rose from his bed and responded like Eli had told him to. Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening, he said. Then God gave Samuel a difficult task. He told Samuel to tell Eli that Eli's 2 sons would soon be punished without mercy for living wicked lives. Imagine having to tell a message like that to an important, powerful leader of your country who had been raising you since you were a toddler. That was the situation Samuel faced. Amazing little Samuel faithfully obeyed God and eventually grew up to be one of Israel's greatest prophets. Message from headquarters. If he calls you, say, Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening. 1 Samuel chapter 3, verse 9. Decoding the message. God called Samuel in a unique way. But even today, thousands of years later, God still calls each of us to follow him, even though we might not be in our pajamas when he does. Maybe he's calling you now through this devotional book. First, God calls us to put our trust in his Son, Jesus, for the forgiveness of our sins. Then, when we become his children through faith, he calls us to obey him and use our talents to serve him. Samuel became a courageous prophet. What is God calling you to do? What talents is he calling you to use for his glory? Whenever God calls you, make sure you respond like Samuel. Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening. Battle plan. Ask your parents and others close to you what they think you're good at. This could be a great first step at identifying what God's calling on your life is. And my friends, that's the end of day 29. And until next time,